Welcome to PsychicBent. My name is Carrie.
And I'm Kim. We are two sisters wanting to help other psychics learn and grow in their abilities and to help educate about spirits, angels, and everything psychic.
Welcome back to PsychicBent, everyone. This is Kim, and Carrie will not be joining us today, so I'm going to be covering this episode on my own, and I hope that you enjoy it. This episode, or idea for this episode, came about while I was doing research on the techniques for yoga, or the yoga techniques that was released last week. And I found it to be a very interesting practice that I did not mention during that previous episode, because I wanted to kind of save it for this episode, and that is karma. So there is a yoga out there that is called karma yoga, which helps you to clear some of the karma that you've had that may be holding you back in your development and such. I believe that's how I understand it to mean. You can go do your research on that one to see how profoundly effective that could be towards you and your spiritual development and such. And it was an interesting read whenever I was doing that research. But it got me to thinking that since there is a form of yoga that is involving karma, it got me thinking, well, what exactly is karma? We hear it all the time. You hear about it in movies and on TV, and it's just become a very popular word, phrase, however you want to put it, in everyday vocabulary and in everyday life. And I got to thinking, well, are we really using it in the proper context, especially those of us in the Western society? I know in the Eastern beliefs and such, they practice the belief and believe in the true meaning of karma. But do we really understand what it is nowadays, or are we just misusing the word? And how does karma really affect us? Does it affect us? It just opened up, okay, let's admit it. It opened up the giant rabbit hole that I had to dive into and take a look at and do research on. And that is something that I thought that maybe we could talk about, because it just fascinated me so much and really got me thinking about what it is and how are we using it in our lives, what are our beliefs in it and such. So that's what I'm going to cover on this episode, is what is karma? All right, karma is a concept with a few definitions, specifically in Hinduism and Buddhism. The common sayings of what goes around comes around, and what you sow is what you reap. These are great examples of how karma works. Hinduism identifies karma as a relationship between a person's mental or physical action and the consequences following that action. It also signifies the consequences of all the actions of a person in their current and previous lives, as well as the chain of cause and effect in morality. In Buddhism, karma refers to the principle of cause and effect. The result of an action, which can be verbal, mental, or physical, is determined not only by the act, but also by the intention. Okay, so there's different symbols are associated with the principles of karma or Buddhism, and these symbols include the endless or eternal heart. It is a design made up of intersecting right-angled lines. Some interpret it as representing the idea of an endless cycle of suffering, birth, death, and rebirth. It also reflects how everything in the world is connected, or the infinite wisdom and compassion of the Buddha. The symbol also suggests that reality is grounded in continuity and nothing ends. The next symbol is a lotus. Because of its strong stem, the lotus grows above muddy water and blooms in sunlight, making it a significant symbol. It represents the soul's journey from our core nature, tied to struggle and suffering, into beauty, clarity, peace, wisdom, and enlightenment through learning and experience. And I find that since that lotus flower is so beautiful, that definition definitely captures the lotus. And I can definitely see how that symbol was used for that. Lungta, or wind horse, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, is a drawing of a horse that appears to be flying or have wind blowing around it. The wind means speed, while the horse with jewels means wishes being fulfilled. It symbolizes good luck and success. When your lungta is high, you're in a good state, healthy, lucky, and successful. But if it's low, you might face problems or unfortunate situations. Another symbol is the wheel of life, and this symbol shows a wheel being turned by a creature and contains many symbols representing Buddhist ideas and teachings. The wheel has a ring in the center that symbolizes karma. On the left side, figures move up to better places because of their good actions, while on the right side, figures move down to worse places because of their bad or ignorant actions. So karma promotes intentional action. For example, when you help someone in need, the action leaves an imprint. As these imprints develop with experiences, it opens the possibility of you receiving help in return when you need it. And then conversely, harmful actions bring about negative consequences. You won't receive help when you need it, but instead you may be harmed. So how does this work? How does karma work? We're going to look at a couple examples here, or at least one example, to help try to understand that process. So if you plant oregano, would you expect something else to grow in its place? No, of course not. Oregano seeds would grow into oregano, just like lavender seeds would grow into lavender. In karma psychology, it's essentially the same thing, the same concept. If you act with good intentions, happiness will follow. If you act with ill intentions, problems will follow. When you see dishonest and cruel people in positions of power get ahead in life, or kind people face hardships or pass young, it may be hard for you to believe in karma. And many people invest in karma only in times of distress or when uncontrollable situations occur, such as a decline in health. Karma often helps people deal with these situations. Even people who don't believe in karma often think that good deeds lead to good outcomes. However, there is a downside to this belief. Some people are selfless givers who think their good deeds and sacrifices will help them win in life. But many of these givers, they fail because they find it hard to set boundaries when helping people. They may drop their own ambitions and goals just to help others. Karma can be individual or collective. Individual karma is created by a person's thoughts, words, and actions. But when people act as a group, like when soldiers use weapons or when a religious group prays or meditates, they create collective karma. And karma can be divided into good and bad. Good karma is a result of good deeds done for others, while bad karma results in intentional harm caused to others. If your actions cause lasting pain and suffering, they are considered negative, unvirtuous, and destructive. If your actions cause happiness, they are considered constructive, positive, and virtuous. Just the opposite. While actions aren't as black and white as being fundamentally good or bad, the results can be identified as either way. Karma has 4 dimensions to it. Sanchita and prarabdha are the two most common. Sanchita karma is the warehouse of karma, which goes back to evolution. It is believed that when people close their eyes and become aware, they can know the nature of the universe because they have a warehouse of information that is known as Sanchita karma. Through this warehouse, you can gain knowledge from single-celled animals and inanimate substances dating back to the very beginning of creation. And prarabdha karma is the information given to you in your current lifetime. This information, it's often limited to only what you can handle. If you were to take on all of your karma memories, including those from your past lives, you'd be unable to handle them, and it could be a horrible outcome from that. People are already haunted by memories from just their current circumstances. This is where prarabdha karma comes into play. Now, karma has 4 main principles. The first one is small actions can lead to great results. The smallest action can bring about immense happiness or even sadness. What you may consider a small act of goodwill might be huge for another, just like a short, hurtful remark can have a long-lasting impact on them. You might not realize it, but doing good deeds for others, no matter how small, might be life-changing for them. Karma is non-transferable. That is, you're responsible for your own karmic experiences. No one else can experience your karma for you, nor can they remove it for you, and vice versa. The third principle is non-committed actions won't give you the results you want. You must fully commit to actions or intent to get the results you desire. And the fourth principle is karmic actions won't disappear on their own. You must experience the results, whether good or bad, or purify them through spiritual practices. And I believe that's where the karma yoga comes into play. Now, how does karma affect our lives? In Buddhist philosophy, no higher power gives rewards or punishments. You simply act with intent and experience the consequences of your actions. And that is that you're responsible for your own actions and consequences. Since karma is based on intent, things that happen by accident don't count towards karmic justice or consequences. People that believe in karma, it can lead to stronger friendships and happiness. This is because most people who believe in karma will generally do good to receive something good in return. Even if you don't believe in karma, treating people with ill intent often leads to hard feelings, which can cause unhappiness and resentment. These feelings alone can cause troubles in our lives. So people often attribute karma to treating others the way you want to be treated. Karma can affect how you lead your life, either with fear of consequences or with anticipation of future rewards. Now, karma is rooted in that belief of what goes around comes around. So doing good things makes it more likely that good things will happen to you, while doing bad things makes it more likely that bad things will happen. You may experience good or bad things, even when it's unclear how your actions led to these outcomes. So, how to attract good karma? To attract good karma now and into the future, the best you can do is practice good deeds and kindness. Research also shows that when people feel overwhelmed, uncertain about the future, or in need, they're more likely to help others. They hope that by helping others, they will attract good karma or be in fate's favor. So here's some ways you can attract good karma through your own actions. Do everything with kindness and show kindness to everyone around you. When you move with kindness, you attract positive karma that encourages everyone and everything to be kind to you. Chant a mantra with positive thoughts of others in mind. It helps clear away any negative karma you're carrying around with you. Meditate. There's that word again. Meditate. When you meditate, try to clear your mind and think about why you're meditating. Meditate feeling grateful for your life and where you are right now. And be gracious in both wins and losses. Generously celebrate other people's wins and successes, and humbly accept your failures. You'll attract good karma for the future and receive grace and generosity from others, whether you're doing well or not. And give to charity. Giving helps you attract good karma because it brings generosity from others to you when you need it. Be there for others, even when it's inconvenient. Being there for people needing a listening ear or support, even strangers, helps you cultivate kindness and attracts good karma. Someone will be there for you when you need support. Appreciate the life of all beings, especially the tiniest creatures. You'll attract the karma of long life by doing so. So while I was also doing my research, I came across an article that had 12 laws of karma in it, and I thought I would cover that as well because I found this one to be very interesting. It's more or less like a guideline for karma. Using karma as a set of powerful guidelines for your life, it can incentivize you to be more mindful of your thoughts, actions, and deeds before you make decisions. So the 12 laws of karma can help you understand how karma really works and how to create that good karma in your life, as I just covered. The first law is the great law, or the law of cause and effect, which I briefly mentioned earlier. And when most people think about karma, they're really referring to this one. And according to the law, whatever thoughts or energy you put out, you get back, good or bad. In order to get what you want, you have to embody and be worthy of those things. It's the concept, as I mentioned before, of what you reap, you sow. An example of that is if you want love in your life, be loving to yourself, which we've talked about before is so important anyway. It also applies to the laws of karma. The second law is the law of creation. The law of creation underscores the importance that life doesn't just happen to us. To make things happen in your life, you need to take action instead of waiting for something to magically come your way. You are the creator of making what you want based on your intentions. So ask yourself what you need to release so you can create space for the thing you desire to show up. Also consider how you can use your skills, talents, and strengths to create something that not only benefits you, but benefits others too. The third law is the law of humility. And this law is based on the principle that you must be humble enough to accept that your current reality is the result of your past actions. An example of that is if you're blaming your colleagues for your poor performance at work, you must accept that you created this reality by not performing as well as you could have. It isn't the employees or your coworkers. It's your own performance. It's what you do. The fourth law is the law of growth. Growth starts within us. To positively shape the world, you need to start with yourself. That's because real change or personal growth begins within what you have control over, which is yourself and not others. This law of growth also looks at the things you can't control and how you deal with accepting this fate. Ultimately, your focus should be on you, not trying to control the people or things around you. Law number 5 is the law of responsibility. It's a reminder that you own what happens to you in life. It's a great reminder that what happens to you is because of you. This eliminates the opportunity for you to look outward to find the cause of your problems. You are the product of the choices you make. Law 6 is the law of connection. This law is based on the principle that everything in your life, including your past, present, and future, are connected. Who you are today is a result of your previous actions, and who you will be tomorrow will be the result of your actions today. Number 7 is the law of focus. Focusing on too many things at once can slow you down and lead to frustration and negativity. And we see this every single day in life. So many people out there are so frustrated with how their life is going because they have so many things that they're trying to do. So many things they're trying to keep their kids involved in. It's just overwhelming. So focusing on too many things at once can slow down and lead to frustration and negativity. That's why this law itself encourages you to concentrate on one thing at a time. If you focus on higher values like love and peace, then you're less likely to be distracted by heavy feelings of resentment, greed, or anger. Law number 8 is the law of giving and hospitality. You must give to the things you believe in. This law helps you understand the importance of your actions, reflecting your deepest beliefs. An example of this is if you want to live in a peaceful world, you need to focus on cultivating peace for others. Law number 9, the law of here and now. To experience peace of mind, you have to embrace the present. This can only happen when you let go of negative thoughts or behaviors from your past. If you get too focused on past events, you'll keep reliving them. And it's recommended to get in touch with the here and now, to get rooted into your senses. Look around the room you're in. Focus your eyes on something, blink, and say, I am here. And that draws you to you and where you're at, and not focusing on those past experiences that you keep replaying. This is one that I really need to practice more on. I know we've talked about that in the past, even with our psychic developments and such, that my past had been a very, I wouldn't say important, I'm not sure the word I want to use for that, but was my focal point through a lot of my adulthood, was just the focal points of the past. And I have to let that go because the past is done and I need to let it go in order to move forward. And that's what this law is talking about. And law number 10 is the law of change. According to this principle, history will continue to repeat itself until you learn from the experience and take steps to do something different to stop the cycle. Change gives you a new path so that you can create a new future and a better version of yourself, free from the pattern of the past. I like that one. Law 11 is the law of patience and reward. To generate change in the future, we must be consistent in our karmic deeds today. It's no good living healthily for one day and then sabotaging it the next day. So be consistent in your goals, and they will come to fruition. I've been in that loop a lot of times throughout my life, off and on, that living healthy one day and sabotaging everything that I've worked for the next. So apparently I need to work on this one too. The 12th law is the law of significance and inspiration. Now, we all play a part and have something to contribute to the world. We all do. And what we share may sometimes seem small to us, but can make an enormous difference in someone else's life. the law of significance and inspiration is a great law to focus on when you need a motivational boost or begin to feel like you don't have a purpose or matter. According to the law, every contribution you make will affect the world. We've been born with a specific gift, mission, or purpose that only we individually can bring into the world with our own uniqueness. Authentically sharing our skills and gifts is why we're here. So those were the 12 laws of karma that I found, and they can serve as a guideline to follow as we go through our daily lives. And these laws, they can help you understand how karma really works and the effect that your thoughts and actions can have on you and the world around you. And come on, let's be honest. Being mindful of our thoughts, our actions, and our deeds before we actually make those decisions can help us so much. And it's such a positive way to try to live your life. It's so much better than trying to focus on those negative thoughts about somebody from the past or the things that you've done that you think are absolutely horrible that you've done. I mean, those are things that you have done, but you can always change that by doing the positive, by thinking others, by thinking the positive thoughts, the positive intentions going out into the world, and the decisions you make, no matter how small, like I've said throughout this, the smallest of things can be such a huge impact for somebody else. You may never know that, how positive you've impacted or how negatively you have impacted somebody. So to focus on the positive and the mindfulness and generosity and love and life only makes sense that that's how you want to try to focus your thought processes and your actions and your deeds to be in that positive way and have it all come back to you. It may not come back in this life, it could be your next life, because reincarnation is a big part of this process with karma, because you're reliving, or here comes another life to learn another lesson because you didn't learn it before, or you may not have learned it the right lesson. And you just keep going to focus for that state of nirvana that they all talk about, that where you've reached nirvana is related to karma because it helps clear karmic debt or bad karma, and it is a state of freedom and bliss where desires, jealousy, and ignorance no longer tie you down. And once you reach this state of nirvana, you no longer have to go through the cycle of being born and dying, and all your bad karma is forgiven. So that would be a wonderful place to be, is with this nirvana state, and it's all part of karma. So karma is not about shifting blame to other people, other things, whatever. It is literally about taking responsibility of you, your thoughts, your actions, your deeds, which is what I keep mentioning. Those are the things that can affect you with karma. Take responsibility for you. Quit the shift blaming, blaming other people for what they did, how it hurt you or whatever. Take responsibility for what you might have done to have caused them to behave that way towards you. Because, like we said, every little deed, intention, thought could affect others in ways that you may not have thought would make that big of a difference in their lives, or didn't even realize that it was going to make them act and feel the way that they did. So there are many other beliefs out there. The Western belief of karma. I believe that in Christianity, the laws of karma are also mentioned in Christianity, but in their way of phrasing things. It's been in ancient Egypt as well. It's just been around. The belief of karma has been around for a long time, as we say in everything, but it definitely is a more positive way of living one's life to think that you have the ability to feel, think, and take action in positive ways with the thought that they can definitely affect others in positive way, to finally go out to the world in all of its positivity. It's like the ripples in a lake. Whenever you toss a rock out into a lake, it starts with little ripples and it moves out. It moves all the way out to the edges, and then it comes back. So what you actually put out there is what's going to come back. And a positive way of life and thinking can bring back that positive back to you in some way, shape, or form. We have to let go of the past. We have to let go of the things that have happened to us in the past, the people that we feel have done us wrong in the past, and focus on the now to affect our future. And I think that's just a great way to live our life. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I'd really like to know what your thoughts are on karma and what your beliefs are there. You can comment on the episodes. You can send me an email. Let me know what you think. I found this a very interesting subject, and I know I could have dug deeper into it, but I didn't really want to overwhelm everyone too much on this. I think that this is a subject that you need to really research it on your own and take from it what resonates with you and what you believe it to be. It was just really, really fascinating because like I said at the beginning, we all have used the phrase, well, it's karma, or it's karma coming back at you. They deserve that. Well, by making that kind of a phrase, you're actually putting out that negative thoughts, intentions, or whatever that's going to come back to you negative as well. So, even when you're using the phrase karma, are you using it in a positive way or a bad way? So maybe this will give you a more positive way of thinking things through and such before your actions speak. Anyway, I found it to be so fascinating studying this one. I wish Carrie was here to bounce things off of her with, but like I said, if you have any questions or comments, just message us, email us, or comment on the episode itself. I had fun doing this one. I hope you all found it very interesting and entertaining as well. Thank you so much for listening to the episode today. And we do appreciate every one of you for listening to us. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you next Monday. Bye. May your light shine bright.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, Psychic Bent. If you enjoyed Psychic Bent, please like, follow, rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to Psychic Bent. We can be reached on Facebook at Psychic Bent Podcast. Our email address is psychicbent1@gmail.com. May your light shine bright.